New Orleans at Carolina. Is Bryce Young the worst rookie quarterback of the class?
So, my thing was I'm very rigid on no. I think, again, right now things are going to look very rough for him because he's in just the worst situation, right? Like the O-line is just so rough. He has virtually no weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, he has them, but they're just not they're not killers on first, second down. They're good third and short guys and stuff, but they're not good crossing route run.
They're garbage.
They're just not he just doesn't have anybody that really moves the needle. And it's again, the best play of the game, I mean, I'll give you some reference, was the touchdown they got on the board was literally Adam Thielen doing some pretending he was knocked out of the play and then just rerouting and turning around. You get my point. You're not getting a lot of you're not getting a lot of explosive plays. It's going to be a very tough situation for Bryce to be in, especially when he's used to playing with all world talent all around him. But he showed multiple times this game he has very good processing skills. He did things where he was making flat corners jump and then going and throwing the post over the flat defender in between the flat and the deep half, doing very good stuff you want to see, right? And even though it's very basic stuff, it's stuff that a lot of rookies struggle with. And he showed me that, look, I'm going to maneuver. I mean, I still know how to manipulate things. I still know how to move. He looked really good outside the pocket too. He made a couple very stupid decisions, holding the ball way too long. But that's every rookie does that. So I'm not going to sit here and knock on it. It just is what it is. Every rookie wants to extend plays and be the hero because they have been their whole life. They learn very quickly that's not how things are going to work. It's just psychology. He's going to get into that. He's going to get into that line of thinking very soon. Back to my other thing, right? I mean, the Miles Sanders, spending the money on Miles Sanders. What were you doing? It was a complete, they literally just spent $7 million a year on, because again, if you're not winning off of the money, you just bet the money. They made Miles Sanders super rich.
Yeah.
So shouts to the Panthers, I guess. Miles Sanders just got super rich off you guys. But again,
that was literally part of my notes. Miles Sanders is literally just a player. Nothing he is doing is special at this time, which I have been saying. He's literally just a running back.
Eagles fans were, and this is the thing, Eagles fans, you got to love it. They gas up their guys. But that's I'll use DeAndre Swift and Gainwell, that was my examples. Dude, you put any back in there, it's going to work.
Yeah.
They're not talented guys, but remember when the whole thing was cut Swift, on the lines? You see my point? It's situations matter, right? Situations matter.
So here's my thing. Due to the injuries on the O-line, Bryce is not going to have a ton of time. And like you were saying, those receivers are just not doing him favors. Mingo will be good, but not right now. He's going to take some time. They only threw three passes beyond 20 yards. So the offense doesn't have any juice to me. It's very dead. And Frank Reich, in my opinion, was never great in Indy. And it's week 2, and they're already asking for the OC Thomas Brown to call plays. Obviously there's an issue, and obviously the Panthers media has been saying something. So here's one thing I want to point out. Young's size was talked about a lot when he was being drafted, and I watched him get sacked yesterday. And it was a defender coming around the edge, and all he did was get a hand on him. He wasn't even wrapped him up, nothing, and Bryce fell.
Literally 2 seconds afterwards. The residual force,
carry through him. The size may start to become a real issue. The Panthers defense, props to them for keeping the game close. Now that depends if that's the Panthers defense or Derek Carr. But being down your best corner and then losing Shaq Thompson is not easy. Frankie Louvu balled out. So the Panthers fall to 0-2 without a first round pick. So piling up losses like this is just going to hurt your QB's confidence. But just to touch on the Saints real quick. The line was okay. Carr was definitely feeling the pressure, though. He was definitely feeling the pressure. He spread the ball out, but he did look kind of pedestrian this game.
Yeah.
The pick was bad.
It was the worst. It was by far the worst pick I've seen on tape so far this year. There's no debating it. That was the worst throw.
Fields has done some pretty bad ones.
No, I don't think he's put into triple coverage, though. Blatant. That was one where it's no, that wasn't a 2-on-3. I'm not going to find another way to spin it. You literally dropped into 3-on-1. I don't think I've seen that happen more than once this year. He's the first triple coverage guy. I think
it was bad. MT looked good. He looked like he might be back for a while. Jamal Williams, hopefully he's okay. AK is coming back soon. Tony Jones Jr. did okay. Saints defense put pressure on Young, but the team is also missing both their starting guards. So the main takeaway is if Taysom Hill is working, keep using Taysom Hill.
Dude, That's what I think. Call me crazy. I mean, come on. It's like, come on, guys. Like, like Tony Jones has literally had a week, like 2 weeks in the system. I know let me be clear. I know he was in the same system before. He's like a Saints alum before he went to the Broncos and he moved around a little bit. I know he knows the offense a little bit, but the point is, regardless, it's very tough to take a guy who's been practicing with you for a couple weeks most and then throw them in and be like, all right, everything's for you. Taysom very much, though, on the opposite side. He knows the calls. He knows everything. He knows the lingo of the team. It's working. Let's just use him as the running back. Like, am I crazy? They can't defend it. They clearly did not feel like tackling him. And that's the thing about Pete Carmichael that will kill me. And even when Sean Payton was here, a lot of times would kill me. They would get so far away from things that would just work to try to be in the sake of creativity.
Yeah.
It's like, we aren't artists.
No.
We are here to win a football game. Like, let's just do what's working.
Yep.
That's Art Smith style.
Yep. I like the Art Smith style. But yeah, so basically it was a real ugly divisional game, basically.
Whenever we play, though, it's just so ugly.
Yeah. NFC South football, baby.